Right, hello, good morning. Welcome and thank you very much for being here today. I hope you're all well. Thanks for joining. Today we've got another Wi-Fi 6 session. Today we're looking at Cambium Networks, so a bit more of a deeper dive than last week, where we're going to be looking at some more of the products. So it's a bit more product-led this week, and we've also got a few promotions as well. So all good, exciting stuff. So I'm Carla, I'm the marketing manager, and I'm joined today by Harry Drewett, who is our solution support engineer, and also Jon Harrison, who is a senior account manager here at Purdicom. And I did just mention, we did have a session last week as well. So I can see some of you who are along today were also with us last week. We did cover just an overview of Wi-Fi 6 and some of the benefits. But yeah, today we're looking at Cambium specifically, and we're going to have a bit more, as I say, a bit more of a deeper dive into the products. So with that said, if you've got any questions, I know you guys are all well versed and you know the drill, but there is a Q&A panel. It really helps us if you can put your questions in there. We'll probably review them sort of at the end of the session, where I'll read through, we'll be able to cover off kind of any of the sales and technical questions, which is fantastic. And it is your session, so just get as involved as you can. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the content. I think it's a really good webinar we've got planned for today. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to Harry and we'll get started. Thanks very much, Harry.
Thanks, Carla. Morning, everyone. I hope you're well on this bright and sunny Tuesday morning. Well, certainly where I am. It's probably raining everywhere else. It's England after all. We're going to have a look today at the Cambium Networks Wi-Fi 6 products. So let's have a quick overview. So the agenda for today's webinar is an overview of Purdicom to start with, a little bit on Wi-Fi 6. It's just the main key points that we touched upon in last week's webinar, just the main technologies involved essentially. And then we're going to have a look at the XV2-2 access point from Cambium and the XV38. Those are the Wi-Fi 6 access points. We'll also take a quick look at cnMatrix switching and multi-gig switching in particular, management platforms that are available from Cambium, and then I will hand over to Jon for the Why Cambium Networks section, just more sort of about Cambium and some of the promotions that are running at the moment. So it's more sales focused, so that's what we've got Jon on the call today. And then finally, we'll have a bit of a Q&A. So let's get started. So a little bit about Purdicom. Purdicom, we're a next-gen wireless networking and security distributor. We're headquartered in Oxfordshire, and we help our customers build networks across EMEA by offering true value-added support and services. So we're about 60 full-time employees now. We're growing every year. We were established in 2005, and we're privately owned. We quadrupled in size since inception in 2005, so quite a big increase. We are certified gold for investors in people. We're also multi-award winning value-added distributor with quite a few of our vendors, which we'll come on to shortly, and we are ISO 9001 certified. These are some of the vendors that we carry. It's a carefully selected portfolio to offer the best technology available. The main one, Cambium Networks, that we're focusing on today. We also carry CommScope Ruckus, Ciclu, Certa UPS, WatchGuard Firewalls, Ascom Voice portfolio, CommScope, SystemX, Incapto, and CommScope NetConnect products also. And then a little bit on our value add. So the first one is training and technical support. So we offer pre and post sales technical support, including Wi-Fi heat mapping, wireless link planning, for example. We also offer on-site professional services and accredited vendor training. Logistics, we can keep stock for you and provide logistics support to help you meet deadlines and schedule installation for your projects. On the finance side, we offer flexible credit lines, helping you to support your customers moving away from CapEx and over to OpEx. On the sales side, we have dedicated account managers to service your business needs and be a single point of contact. And then on the marketing side, we have marketing campaign support, content creation, and vendor-led marketing development funds. And that's all sort of led by Carla and her team over in marketing. So let's have a look at Wi-Fi 6. Quick intro, just touching upon the points we talked about last week, really. So Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 technology is designed to address the unprecedented strains placed on Wi-Fi networks caused by the exploding demand for streaming video, the proliferation of outdoor hotspots, IoT sensors and controls, for example. Basically, it's a new generation of Wi-Fi that aims to increase capacity, especially when there's a large density of client-connected devices. Cambium's Wi-Fi 6 products are based on a software-defined multi-radio architecture that will dramatically increase the Wi-Fi speed whilst reducing the ownership costs, which we'll come into later on. New features in Wi-Fi 6, such as multi-user MIMO in the uplink, allow devices to transmit and receive data at the same time, eliminating queuing, allowing more simultaneous connection to the network, whilst OFDMA and new power control mechanisms bring a deterministic model to the radio frequency layer, where the AP controls the client connection, including when to sleep, when to wake, and how to transmit and receive data. So a bit of a simple overview. 6th generation of Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi 6, builds on the existing strengths of 802.11ac, now known as Wi-Fi 5. It adds efficiency, flexibility, and scalability that allows new and existing networks to increase the speed and capacity with next generation applications. It is a substantial upgrade over the previous generations of Wi-Fi. In terms of compatibility, it's designed to be backwards compatible with previous standards, so legacy clients can still join Wi-Fi 6 access points, albeit they won't be able to achieve the higher speeds that Wi-Fi 6 offers, but they can still join the network. That's the main thing. Efficient networking. So the main sort of core principle Wi-Fi 6 is built on is efficiency. We've got faster speeds, efficient client access. It's basically getting that client on and off the network faster, allowing you to process the data quicker. Speed, capacity, so 9.6 gigabits a second is the maximum throughput of Wi-Fi 6 across multiple bonded channels. In contrast, Wi-Fi 5 offered a maximum of 3.5 gigabits a second. And finally, latency. Wi-Fi 6 can result in up to 75% less latency than the outgoing standard. And you may have noticed these slides from last week's webinar, but we're just going to talk about them quickly as the 6 main features of Wi-Fi 6 and how they improve the standard. So the first one is OFDMA, which stands for Orthogonal Frequency Division Multiplexing Access. It's a new encoding mechanism that allows the access point to divide up a given channel into multiple smaller subcarriers known as resource units, and then they can allocate those subcarriers to multiple clients for transmission, improving efficiency. Multi-user MIMO, which is multi-user, multiple in, multiple out. Introduced in Wi-Fi 5 in the downlink direction only. Wi-Fi 6 now brings this technology to the uplink direction, so allowing multiple clients to transmit and receive from an AP at the same time via multiple spatial streams of data, and it's supported on both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Power efficiency, so the target wake time lets the access point schedule a check-in time with the client devices, reduces the amount of time the client device needs to keep its antennas powered, and it reduces the battery drain. So it's more efficient for the client device. 1024 QAM, which is quadrature amplitude modulation. So it's a higher level of modulation over and above the existing highest level from 802.11ac, which is 256 QAM. Allows more data to be modulated, thus increases the data rate. Requires a very high signal to noise ratio at the client to demodulate that data though, so be aware of that. The long OFDM symbol works hand in hand with OFDMA to increase the number of subcarriers available for transmission, also improves the channel robustness. And finally, BSS colouring. So BSS colouring basically intelligently marks shared interfering channels across the deployment, and it coordinates the medium access more efficiently. So if a device is looking to join the network, it can quickly identify whether the channel is occupied by a device on the same BSS, as the color code will be the same. So those are the main 6 features of Wi-Fi 6 and how they sort of improve things over Wi-Fi 5. Now let's have a look at why Cambium Networks. So Cambium commissioned the Tolly Group to benchmark the performance of its tri-radio XV3 access point, or XV3-8, and the dual radio XV2-2 Wi-Fi access point, Wi-Fi 6 access point, and comparable APs from the likes of Aruba, Meraki, CommScope Ruckus. Wi-Fi 6 not only brings WLAN performance to a new level, but it also brings financial benefits. The report showed that Cambium Networks outperformed all competitors in terms of performance and total cost of ownership. So what were the tests? Number 1, maximum throughput focused on getting the maximum throughput of an AP with just a few clients. And then the second test was high density performance involving 50 to 100 clients, measured throughput and quality of experience. As Wi-Fi 6 is the new standard and it's the biggest leap in technology for Wi-Fi in at least a decade, it's important to benchmark the leading devices, including the high performance 8x8, 4x4 access points and general purpose 2x2 access points, to quantify the difference in performance in both low and high density situations. And it was also essential to look at the Wi-Fi 6 solution in terms of price and performance. For example, the cost of megabits per second of throughput, as well as looking into the total cost of ownership over 5 years. So we talked about the tests that were run, the maximum throughput with a few clients, and then the high density with lots of clients. And it's important to ensure that these results are applicable to the real world. So the client mix actually included both Wi-Fi 5 clients as well as Wi-Fi 6 clients, Windows, Mac OS and iOS operating systems deployed on both tablets, laptops and mobile devices. The high density tests used 100 clients for the 8x8, so the XV3 access point among others, and 50 clients for the 2x2 tests. The high density test also measured not only throughput, but the quality of experience for voice over IP traffic running in the same mix. And I thought this was quite an interesting report, to be honest, because the results were as follows. So the XV3-8 delivered an average 2.5 times or 2.4 times price performance of its competitors. It also had a 38% lower total cost TCO than Aruba, Meraki and Ruckus. It delivered an average of 47% higher bidirectional throughput in a tri-radio mode than its competitors. The XV2 delivered an average of 2 times price performance of competitors, and it had a 35% lower TCO than Aruba, 49% TCO, lower TCO than Meraki, and 44% lower TCO than Ruckus. And the XV2-2 also outperformed competitors in bidirectional and downstream throughput. So let's have a look at the XV2 and the XV3 in a little bit more detail. So the XV2-2 is a dual radio Wi-Fi 6 access point designed to bring the power of Wi-Fi 6 to small enterprises and any market that needs a medium density network upgrade at a value-based price. So it's backwards compatible with previous generations of Wi-Fi clients. The XV2 also has a limited lifetime warranty. It has cloud and on-premise management, and we'll come on to the management platforms later on. One of them being XMS Cloud, which also has the EasyPass access services with Azure and Google G Suite integration. Just a little bit more on the limited lifetime warranty. So the XB2 comes with a limited lifetime warranty, providing return and repair service on the access point from the date of purchase until the end of life of the product. So let's have a look at some of the features. So it is a 2x2, 2 spatial stream access point on both 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz. Supports up to 512 clients and 16 SSIDs. Obviously, if you are connecting 512 clients to an access point, it's not going to have the best performance at that level. Really, it's designed for the small to medium deployment scenario. Also features WPA3 security. So if we remember back to 2017, the outgoing WPA2 was brute forced, also known as the Wi-Fi crack exploit, and it basically proved that the less complex the passkey used on the Wi-Fi network, the easier it was to brute force off-site and decrypt the data transmission that could be captured by a hacker. WPA3 seeks to resolve this, so there's a new type of authentication called SAE that replaces PSK, and it's a more individualized encryption which increases the difficulty for hackers to snoop and decrypt the data. So the encryption is pretty much more individual per client. Furthermore, the WPA3 Enterprise now supports 192-bit encryption over 128-bit. So coming on to edge services, so the XB2 can deliver edge services such as layer 7 firewall policies, OS detection, application control, and location. Easy pass access services with Azure and Google G Suite. That's only available on XMS, which we'll come on to later on. And then finally, we've got policy-based application control and visibility, again, on the XMS platform that allows you to basically create layer 7 application rules, firewall rules at the edge of the network rather than having to create stuff on your firewall. Some use cases for the XV2-2. Everyone and everything expects to connect anytime and anywhere, and that means that any of the following scenarios: so school, education environments, offices, corporate environments, retail, and the home user as well. And it's more used in the lower client density areas as it's a 2x2, 2 spatial stream access point. So that's the first AP from Cambium. Now we'll come on to the XV3-8, the big boy, high density AP, absolutely mad unit. So the XV3-8 is a high performance, high network density Wi-Fi 6 access point. Includes seamless roaming, fast roaming, automatic RF optimization and interference avoidance to automatically optimize your performance to the specific local need of the RF environment. It is specifically designed for high density. It's optimized for dominant client devices. Again, managed from cloud and on-premise, XMS or cnMatrix, which we'll come on to in a bit. And again, it features the same access services on EasyPass. But the main difference between the XV2 and the XV3 is the radio count. So the XV3 is actually a tri-radio access point. So it has one 2.4 GHz radio, which is a 4x4 design, 4 spatial stream, and it has two 5 GHz radios, which are 4x4, 4 spatial stream, or you can in software, you can combine them to be one single 8x8, 8 spatial stream, 5 GHz radio. So the software defined for high density and flexible installations. So for example, where you were previously installing two 4x4 access points to cover an area, such as maybe a lecture theatre, for example, you can install one XV3-8 and split the two 5 GHz radios down to two 4x4 radios to cater for the same client density. Also has a 5 gigabit Ethernet port and a 1 gigabit Ethernet port, so that's something we'll come on to later with multi-gigabit switching. Can support that higher throughput. WPA3 security as well, like we talked about with the XB2. It has a 5 radio architecture, so it's got the Wi-Fi client access radios. It also has a dedicated scanning radio for improved RF optimization, and also to do the DFS scanning on the 5 gigahertz. So that's really good if you're deploying, for example, an access point outdoors where we have to have DFS on all the outdoor frequencies in 5 gigahertz to contend with radar. And also the XV3-8 has an integrated BLE radio, Bluetooth Low Energy Radio, and that can deliver edge services such as Bluetooth location services. So that's quite cool. And again, the standard stuff with the XV line of the policy-based application control and visibility, and the EasyPass access services with Azure and Google G Suite. So let's have a look at some of the use cases for the XV3-8. This is a case study that Cambium have on their website. So if you want to read the full paper, you can download it from the Cambium support site. But this is a solution for ISL, and it was upgrading an existing aging network. Their existing network was not meeting the day-to-day requirements. There were issues when concurrent users were streaming video content, and the increased number of devices was leading to capacity issues. And ISL needed a solution that included guest portal tool and a simple central management with a reporting function. So ISL is the International School of Luxembourg. They're now using 215 of Cambium's XV3-8 Wi-Fi 6 APs to support up to 3,000 devices and 1,700 students and teachers. They also use the XMS Cloud management platform to be an end-to-end management solution and manage the devices. So the aim was essentially to future-proof the network by deploying Wi-Fi 6 access points to support the one-to-one student device ratio. And ISL chose Cambium to build a reliable and stable wireless local area network with optimal connection, including that large number of simultaneous connections, so 3,000. So as a result, they chose the XV3-8 because of these features that we talked about previously, with the high density software-defined radio, the optimization that's built in, and the total of 5 radios for the edge services with capacity. And now it enables them to have multiple concurrent connections, stream a video. It allows them to use Google Docs across the wireless network to have everybody connected at the same time to the same platform to complete their work. And they also have a BYOD environment supporting BYOD initiatives for students, teachers and guests to bring their own device and onboard themselves to the wireless network at the site. So that brings us on to the importance of using a management platform. I think we're doing pretty well on time. So Cambium actually offer 2 management platforms. The management solutions offer public cloud, private cloud and on-premises options. They're all optimized for scalability, zero-touch provisioning and simplified operation. So on the left here we have cnMaestro, and on the right we have XMS Cloud. Both cnMaestro and XMS Cloud can be scaled from anywhere from 1 device to 100K devices. Both offer zero-touch provisioning and maintenance, but the main difference between XMS Cloud and cnMaestro is the policy-based access and the Azure G Suite integration, which we'll come on to in a little bit more detail on XMS. But some of you that are Cambium Networks customers may already be familiar with cnMaestro. It's been sort of grown from Cambium's background in fixed wireless access, and then as it's evolved, it's onboarded the CN Pilot Wi-Fi line, the cnMatrix switching, and really it's sort of designed to be an end-to-end network management tool. So we see it used often with wireless ISPs, for example. And you can see all your devices from your long-range backhaul to your point-to-multi-point distribution, wireless distribution, and then to your residential routers, for example, as well as your enterprise Wi-Fi and your enterprise switching. XMS Cloud, on the other hand, so XMS Cloud is from the Xerox platform. You may know Cambium took over Xerox from Riverbed in late 2019. And XMS Cloud is the platform that was previously used with the Xerox APs. And now the new Wi-Fi 6 APs from Cambium can be onboarded to XMS. And it's really designed to be a Wi-Fi and enterprise switching management platform. It's going to manage all your Wi-Fi devices, all your switches, and it gives you that little bit more insight into specifically the wireless devices and the clients. It's got layer 7 capabilities, which we'll come on to shortly. So cnMaestro that we just talked about is end-to-end, and it gives simplifies device management by offering full visibility and zero touch. There are 2 tiers of cnMaestro now. So there is cnMaestro Essentials, which is the free version. You may have just known it as one product previously. As of January this year, January 2021, cnMaestro was split out into 2 tiers, cnMaestro Essentials and cnMaestro X. Some of the features of cnMaestro basically allow a network manager to simplify their device management by viewing and performing a full suite of wireless network management functions in real time, as well as optimizing the system availability, maximizing the throughput, and meeting the need of business and residential customers. And it's scalable up to 10,000 devices per instance. So cnMaestro Essentials is the license-free management platform that delivers a disruptive total cost of ownership for organizations. There's no licensing. You buy an access point, you onboard it, you don't have to pay a recurring, 1-year subscription, 3-year subscription, 5-year subscription. Features are monitor, so single pane of glass to view your entire end-to-end network. Configure, you can pre-configure supported devices so they'll be automatically onboarded when provided with network connectivity. Operate, so integrates with Google Maps, and you can also upload floor plans to give visibility of each site with one-click functionality. And then management, so each device features a dedicated dashboard which you can drill down into to get different stats. And there's also centralized upgrade and device configuration workflows. So cnMaestro X is based on the same platform. It's just it's a subscription-based system, and it basically adds the following features to cnMaestro. So the first one is the MSP dashboard. So it basically turns cnMaestro into a managed service platform where you can create multiple customer instances under your own MSP instance. And you can actually brand that as well to address specific sub-markets, for example, in the service area. The next one is long-term historical data. So cnMaestro Essentials only holds 30 days worth of data, whereas cnMaestro X holds 2 years of data for fixed wireless broadband and 1 year of data for enterprise and IoT devices. So that'll be the Wi-Fi access points and switches. APIs and webhooks. So cnMaestro X has RESTful API and webhook for integration with existing OSS and BSS systems and event monitoring. And then finally, SDR support. So the software definable radio on the XV3 is actually only supported in cnMaestro if you have an X subscription. If you're using Essentials, it's going to just be an 8x8 5 GHz radio. And then some other features of cnMaestro X include advanced device management capability. You get Cambium Care Pro 24/7 technical support. When you raise a ticket with Cambium, it will go straight to level 2 instead of going through level 1. You get regular software updates as well and regular upgrades to the management platform with new features as soon as they become available. So now we'll have a look at XMS Cloud. So XMS Cloud is a powerful management solution for deploying and managing Cambium Networks Wi-Fi 6 APs and Cambium Network switches, as well as the existing Xerox suite of access points. And it gives you complete control and visibility. Similar to cnMaestro, it gives you zero-touch activation and automated software upgrades, patches, for example. But some of the key benefits of XMS Cloud are as follows. So massive scalability. It's built on next generation NO SQL databases used by the largest internet companies. It supports multi-tenancy and networks using tens of thousands of access points and clients. And it's flexible software as a service, scales to support peak usage scenarios. Second one is simple user and device access. So there is something in XMS Cloud known as EasyPass. And what EasyPass does, it makes the Wi-Fi connection experience virtually seamless for end users, excuse me, as it does not require a user to download an application or install a certificate to join a corporate Wi-Fi network. Employees with minimal technical knowledge can easily and securely connect personal devices to a corporate network using a Microsoft 365 login or a Google G Suite login or simple IT issued credentials to authenticate against the Radius server. It's highly resilient, so it's cloud architecture. There's no centralized dependency and no single point of failure, similar to cnMaestro. The brains are all on the access point. So if you lose your management connection to the cloud, your APs aren't going to go down. Clients are still going to be able to join the Wi-Fi network, even if the management connection is lost. Security and traffic is processed directly at the edge in each AP. Robust security. XMS features multi-level security to ensure privacy of data from external exploits. There's multi-tenancy to isolate customer data, and encryption prevents visibility of communications between a customer site and the cloud. The user data is kept separate from the management data, whereby only the management data actually enters the cloud. Then we've got guest activities. So if you're using EasyPass Guest, it enables guests to register or use their social media credentials to connect. So it's built into XMS. Other Wi-Fi solutions, you may end up needing a third-party captive portal to use social media login. That gives your IT administrator full visibility of who's joined the network, and it gives you control to enforce access policies from anywhere. The big one, application prioritization. So XMS Cloud is actually layer 7, so it has layer 7 functionality, whereas compared to cnMaestro, it's only looking at layer 3 and layer 4. So the Cambium application control, Xerox application control, makes it easier to control the data traffic at the network edge. So it allows you to identify and enforce policies against over 2,000 applications. So it allows granular control with deep packet inspection. It provides improved user experience with application prioritization and reduced security risk by blocking risky applications. So you could create a policy, for example, that identifies an application of BitTorrent, and you can block it right at the edge, on the edge of the network. Finally, location services. So in XMS Cloud, there is something known as XPS, which is the Xerox positioning system. And it basically gives you contextual location data to deliver unique user experiences for visitors across, for example, retail, convention centers, sports arenas. XPS is the only solution that distributes intensive client location calculation across all access points in the network to achieve big scale. It also easily integrates with third-party, industry-specific and other applications via standards-based push-pull RESTful APIs. So businesses can basically pull that location data from XMS and then use it to their advantage. And it's all encrypted using TLS security through HTTPS. So those are the management platforms. Let's have a quick look at multi-gig switching from the cnMatrix line. So Cambium offer a line of next-gen switching platform. They're all cloud managed, high performance, enterprise grade Ethernet switching solution. They also have advanced automation capabilities to help you streamline your operations, such as policy-based automation. So you plug an access point in, the switch is going to basically have a look at the MAC address and says, oh, right, this is an access point. I can see that from the MAC address. I'm going to configure this port with VLAN X, Y, and Z. cnMatrix also offers enhanced security with device profiling segmentation. And it is a non-blocking line rate architecture with fully featured layer 2 and layer 3 switching. Managed by both cnMaestro and XMS Cloud as well. And we're going to have a look specifically at the EX2016M-P. So this is Cambium's multi-gigabit switch. It's optimized for Wi-Fi 6 access points as it has 6 5 gigabit ports on it. So the XV3, you may have noted earlier in the presentation, is that it has a 5 gigabit Ethernet port. The XV2 has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port. So to get the full bandwidth on those access points, you're going to want to go with a multi-gig switching solution. You can still run the access points at 1 gig, but there will be a little bit of a bottleneck there. And the example here, the EX2016 has those multi-gig ports on it. And can be fully managed by XMS and cnMaestro, and has the same fully automated network access policies as the rest of the cnMatrix switching line, and the same zero-touch provisioning features.
Perfect. Harry, we've actually had a question on the switches, so I thought we'd jump in before we do.
No problem. We'll go back to that.
Yeah, so Tim just asks, is XMS Cloud available as an on-prem solution?
So XMS Cloud is not available as an on-prem solution. It is basically, XMS Cloud is the cloud version of XMS Enterprise. XMS Enterprise is available as an on-prem solution, and you can download, I think there is a demo that Cambium might be able to send that over to you. Look and feels very similar to XMS Cloud, but it's, you know, has a capability to be installed on a VM and managed from internal network.
Perfect. Well, we'll see, because if there's any content around that from Cambium, perhaps we'll stick that in the follow-ups as well for you guys. So, cool.
I mean, if there's no more questions on the existing content until later on, I'll pass over to Jon for the Why Cambium Network section.
Good morning all. Thank you for your time so far. I will basically talk you through, obviously, why Cambium Networks, the relationship between Purdicom and Cambium Networks, and also give you a quick overview of the Q3 promotions that are coming up. So, Harry, if you want to flick to the next page. So, why Cambium Networks? So, Cambium have been obviously a leading wireless innovation since 1999. They've deployed over 10 million radios so far, and that is still counting. Their wireless portfolio is used by commercial and government network operators, as well as sort of broadband service providers. Scalable networks, obviously, Harry's talked through this a fair bit already, but you can scale for your network from a handful of subscribers to thousands of connected residents and businesses. You've got great flexibility with the Cambium Networks portfolio, from CM Pilot Wi-Fi. You've got the indoor, you've got the outdoor range. You've got the wall plate APs if you are working within hospitality. You've got routers and so on. You've got point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, or EPMP if that obviously better suits the network needs. The key thing that always stands out for me on Cambium is their powerful management. Their single pane of glass to manage and control visibility over your whole Cambium network. So you'll be able to manage your APs through to your point-to-point, through to your EPMP, all through one single pane of glass. And I think that stands out against a lot of the other vendors out there. And obviously unrivaled performance, proven performance and reliability over the long term, which is going to reduce your maintenance costs and delivering at a low total cost of ownership. What I mean by that is you're not going to have any license fees with Cambium. You're not going to have any additional support costs with a lot of vendors out there. As you know, there are licensing costs for per AP or radios and so on. And there's also support costs alongside that. And that includes support costs and controls as well, which can significantly mount up. So the low total cost of ownership for Cambium is a real standout point for a lot of our resellers. And it provides a much more reasonable price package, which is delivering enterprise technology to smaller businesses out there. Okay, Hannah, if you want to go to the next one. So the relationship between Purdicom and Cambium Networks. Purdicom are very proud of the relationships we have with a lot of our vendors. They are very long-standing relationships. We've been partnered with Cambium since sort of pre-Motorola days. We offer accredited training. Our courses are Cambium certified. So if you're interested in learning more about the CM Pilot side of things or EPMP, you can register to come on a course with us, and we will basically go through everything with you. You'll get a Cambium certified certificate at the end of the course, and you also get free NFR kit with these courses as well. So it's a nice little bonus that you can take the kit away with you. You can play a bit at your business or at home just to get a little bit more au fait with the kit that you're going to be offering moving forwards. The other key area that we as a value add disty offer is we give 3 months money back guarantee with the Cambium kit that we're offering. You can get up to 5-year warranty with some of the CM Pilot products. We offer a free site survey, free training sessions, and also free virtual configuration. And the other addition, as a smaller sort of distributor that we are, we're also able to be flexible with some of the terms that we offer. So if there is a particular project that you may be working on that finance, you may need a bit more flexibility on terms, it's something that we can look into for you to assist with. Okay, if you want to pop to the next one. So why Cambium Network? So simplicity, Cambium connected partners don't have to purchase NFR. You don't have to go through exams to become a connected partner with Cambium. There's a lot of vendors out there where you'll need to, first of all, purchase NFR kit, then you'll need to be accredited and carry out some exams before they even look at making you a partner. With Cambium, you don't need to do that. It will then allow you to also gain access to the deal registration program as well, which will give you even further discount on the APs. Scalability, obviously, this is something that Harry's mentioned already, but seeing Maestro Essentials, for example, you can manage networks with up to thousands of sites, and you can actually manage up to 10,000 devices on CM Maestro Essentials. Obviously, X is going to give you a little bit more on top of that, but it's a real standout platform that is absolutely free for you guys to register on. and as mentioned, lower total cost of ownership. I know Harry gave us sort of insight earlier to what the total cost of ownership on the Wi-Fi 6 APs were, but again, when you've got no licensing costs, no support costs across the full range of the CM pilot side of things, it's going to bring the overall cost down for you and your end users, especially when it comes to installs and so on. The obviously advantages of being a connected partner, as mentioned, you get product line discounts through the deal registration program. You'll be able to, again, take advantage of special promotions that we will talk through shortly. There are sales and marketing tools and resources on the Cambium Connected Partner Program website, so you can take advantage of those. And there is also virtual sales and technical training, all free to take advantage of. So there is a lot of positives with going with Cambium, and yeah, hopefully pushing your business forward even further. Okay, Harry, if you want to pop to the next one. So Q3 promotions that we are currently looking at. First one is Bring a Friend WISP referral. So this is going to be, as mentioned, if you are looking to introduce a friend into the referral program, it's a current broadband service provider using Cambium Networks EPMP access points or products in your network, and you can refer a new service provider to Cambium reseller, you can receive free of charge equipment. When one of those providers or purchasers deploys their first access point or 12 subscriber modules, the referring provider gets 1 free wireless access point for every new broadband service provider using EPMP that you refer. So you'll get 1 EPMP 3000 with 1 multi-user MIMO sector antenna at no charge. But if you're looking for more information on these promotions, I would suggest reaching out to your account manager and they'll provide you all the info you will need on that one. Okay. So again, another promo, new broadband service provider. So the network aims to help broadband service providers who are new to the EPMP products get up and running quickly. To facilitate this, we're offering new broadband services providers a bundle of equipment services at great low prices. The starter kits are looking like you're going to be getting up to 60% off the list price. Options within those kits range from the EPMP 3000 fixed wireless access point and 12 EPMP 4325 subscriber modules. Another option you've got is the EPMP 3000L connectorized, and again 12 EPMP 4325 subscriber modules. There are a few other options in there. All the starter kits include 2 hours of one-on-one consulting with an EPMP network engineer as well to get you up and running. So yeah, if you're unsure of the kit, that 2 hours will hopefully get you on track and moving forwards with these great devices. Maestro X 90-day free trial. So for those who are used to Maestro Essentials, Maestro X will basically allow you device onboarding, monitoring, configuring, alarm and event notifications, device inventory, network topology, software updates, AP monitoring between sites, performance KPIs, satellite view, link test and RF quality, and cloud connector. Also the report side of things, as Harry mentioned earlier, you will be able to not just have 30 days worth of reports, you will have a far greater time frame within that reporting feature. And that is only going to be available on the Maestro X platform. So I would take advantage of the 90-day free trial, see what you think of it, and if you've got any questions regarding Maestro X, again, reach out to the account manager or any of our technical team. The free CM Pilot AP with cloud management. So this is something that we have available Again, if you reach out to your Purdicom account manager, we will be happy to get a free EAP sent out to you. It is the E410 AP, unfortunately. It's not something that covers the Wi-Fi 6 APs, but the E410 is a great bit of kit. It's a great introduction to what the Cambium AP offers. It's probably one of our best-selling Cambium AP lines that we've got. So take advantage of it. If you've not got a AP, by all means get in touch with your Purdicom account manager and we will make sure one of those is sent out to you. Next one is the Xerox tradeup. So there is, I think, only one Xerox AP that is excluded in this offer at the moment. But if you are a Xerox partner and have been using Xerox for a long time, you're looking to make a transition to the Cambium Wi-Fi 6 offerings. I know education is hot on future-proofing and bringing in Wi-Fi 6. If there are any sort of schools or any other verticals where you know you've got some Xerox APs that probably need refreshing, please get in touch with us. Get in touch with your Cambium account manager, and we will talk you through what this offer entails and what you'll need to do to get your hands on these Cambium Wi-Fi 6 APs. This is going to be running until the end of the year, so you've got plenty of time to take advantage of this and obviously speak to your partners to see where you can take advantage of this promo. And that is it from me.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, John, and thanks, Harry. Cool, okay. Do we have any questions from our fantastic audience? I do have one here. It's for you, Harry.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi. So we've had a look at two APs today in a bit more detail. And I've got a question here around both of those. So do they both need multi-gig switching?
So they don't strictly need multi-gig switching. You can connect both XB3 and XB2 to a 1 gigabit switch port on a 1 gig switch. But be aware that that is going to cause a bottleneck, especially if you've got maybe like a high density area. So you've got lots of clients connected, because Wi-Fi 6 can achieve those higher throughputs, higher speeds, data rates. They've built in a 5 gig port onto the XV3 and a 2.5 gig port on the XV2 to basically take advantage of that. So multi-gig switching is a great way to future-proof, but they will still run on a 1 gig network.
Great, excellent. More questions, I think, for you, Harry. So yeah, can you stack switches, and do they have redundant PSU?
So at the moment you can't stack the switches physically. You can create a virtual stack in the management platform, either XMS or cnMaestro. The 2016 does not have a redundant PSU, but Cambium do have a 48 port 1 gig switch with 10 gigabit SFP uplinks that does have redundant PSUs. And that can also take AC and DC PSUs as well as a range of tower switches. So these are more primarily aimed at the WISP environment, but they're for sort of powering point to multi-point fixed wireless access points, for example, and they also have replaceables.
Fantastic. Next question, I think, for either of you, so John or Harry. Do we have outdoor APs? Yes, I think I can answer that, but yeah, a bit more detail from either of you.
So yeah, outdoor AP wise, Cambium, we've got a few different options. There isn't anything I'm right in saying on the Wi-Fi 6 side of things yet, Harry.
So there is a XV2 outdoor version coming, but it is not out just yet. But I'm informed by Cambium that it's going to be end of Q3.
Fine. But yeah, Wi-Fi 5 side of things, there are a few different options available. Again, if you reach out to your account manager, and we'll be more than happy to provide data sheets or talk you through which would be the best option for the environment it's going into.
Fantastic. Tim also asked as well, do you support BT PoE?
Yep, so on the EX2016M-P, which is the multi-gig switch, it does support 802.3 BT PoE on the multi-gig ports, so you can have up to 6 60-watt PoE ports.
Excellent. I think we're doing really well for time. I don't have any further questions at the moment. Does anybody else have any other questions for either one of our presenters? I did see quite a few come in just around the slide deck and the recording. So yeah, we forgot to mention at the beginning, sorry, but yeah, we will forward the follow-up. So you have the recording and the deck as well. Hopefully later on today, maybe tomorrow, but just bear with us and we'll get that over to you. Also, probably just worth mentioning as well, the session that we ran last week, which was the full overview. If you guys, for some of you already who haven't seen that session already, we'll send you the link to that as well, so you'll get both. One more question. So any IoT capability?
Yep, so the XB2 has the onboard BLE radio for capability with BLE IoT devices.
Perfect. And are there any more? Any more for any more, guys? And thank you as well, John, for running through the promotions for us today. We will be updating all the Q3 promotions this week on the website. So we've only just kind of got all of those through, but we can send you links to that as well. So basically everything you could ever need is going to be in that follow-up. And we will get that out to you shortly. Okay, I think that's it. And actually, as I say, we've done really well on time as well. So 11:28. I think we'll wrap up there. Thank you ever so much for. Oh
yeah, sorry, we did have one pre-submitted, and it was.
So yeah, go for it, Harry. I'll let you.
Yes, both APs are compatible with cnMaestro and XMS Cloud. Just bear in mind, if you're using cnMaestro X, you need a license to do so per device, and also with XMS Cloud it is licensed per device, but Maestro Essentials is fully free to onboard an access point.
Fantastic. Sorry about that. I nearly
no worries, I think I've skipped over this one as well, but I think that's it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we're all good. Okay, yes, I'll wrap up now then. So yeah, thank you ever so much as always for joining. If you'd like to contact us, reach out to your account manager. As I say, we will be following up. All our contact details are there. Have a fantastic day, everybody. And yeah, once again, thanks for joining us.